Okay, so welcome to our first MOA NCCT prep study class. Lots of acronyms, right? So MOA stands for Medical Office Assistant, and that's one of the certification exams that you can take for this class. So what we're going to do in our time is we're going to go through the study packet. There's no other way that I can think to get you prepared for this MOA NCCT except just to go through the study packet. So many things that we're going to look at in our study packet, we didn't necessarily go through. One of them is going to be like, how big is the paper that needs to go in a fax machine? I mean, really, did we specify that ever at all? No, but by going through this packet and just reviewing, you're going to find out those answers. So what I'm going to encourage you to do is I'm going to encourage you to get flashcards or however you study best. You are going to have a study packet. If your instructor hasn't put that up on e-learning or given that to you, please let me know and we'll make sure that you get that. For my class is already on e-learning. Miss Crystal, did you put yours on e-learning or?
I'm doing that today.
Doing that today. Miss Berry will have that out to you guys today. Hi, Rachel. She just popped in. I want to say hi. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen so you guys can see what we're looking at. So can you guys see this?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this is just a study booklet. And what we've done is I've just scanned it in so we can go over it. So today we're going to be going through chapter 1. Well, let's go through. There's chapter 1, which is office procedures. Then 2 is medical terminology. 3 is medical abbreviations. 4 is medical law and ethics. And 5 is insurance. Now we're just going to start with chapter 1. I'm trying to remember how many. I think there is 100 questions. Yes. In chapter 1. So how are we going to get through all of those 100? Well, I say that today we go through 1 through 25 together. And I want to ask, I am going to look at you guys when I ask this. Would you guys rather me read 1 through 25 and answer them and then go back and we'll do the answers? Or do you want to go one at a time and then do the answer? What do you think?
One at a time.
One at a time? Does everybody like that idea to do one at a time?
Yeah, one at a time sounds better.
All right. So we're going to do one at a time today, and we're going to do 1 through 25, which is not going to take us a really long time. But to get prepared for class next week, I want you guys to do 26 through 75. Now you have 1 week to do it. You're not going to be graded on it. This is something that you're doing plus your regular schoolwork. Do you guys understand that this is extra? This is to get you ready for one of those big tests. This is the first time we've ever had a class that we're going through this with. When I taught on campus, I did this during daily class through, the 8-month period. So I'm trying to get into it where you guys can actually get prepared ahead of time. So we're just going to go through. Oh, here comes my Cheyenne. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen again, and then I'm just going to read it, and we're going to talk about it, okay? If you guys can think of a better way or have a better idea at how to do it, please let me know. But this is the best way I've come up with that we can do it together and kind of study some things. All right, so this is what it looks like. So our number 1 says, office morale can be damaged by unintended curt notes by management personnel. To eliminate this, many offices prepare forms that A, restrict correspondence to one subject for clarity, B, use colored forms, C, use forms with witty remarks at the top, or D, use forms with certain cartoon characters. I think this is pretty self-explanatory, but what do you guys think?
B.
Use color forms?
Strict.
D. A.
It's going to be A. We're going to restrict correspondence to one subject for clarity. I don't know if you guys have ever gotten an email from maybe a supervisor or a manager. Look, we get emails. Me and Miss Crystal, we probably get 100 emails a day. I much prefer getting multiple emails with one subject because if not, it just piles on. They miss things. They get misinterpreted. So you need to restrict your correspondence to one subject for clarity.
And I want to say, Marsha, I don't know if my class remember, but for the blackout days, when we had blackout assignments, these are some of the questions that were placed for your assignments, for your blackout assignments. When I gave you all study questions for extra points, these are some of those questions. So some of those questions were pulled from the NCCT prep.
All right, so number 2, we're going to go into some spelling and meanings. Yes, does it seem like we should do this? Well, because it's front office and correspondence based a lot of times, we have to. So just bear with it. So addition means the process of joining together or finding the sum. Addition means the form in which a book is published, the joining together of, adding to or more numbers, or revising numbers. Have you guys ever heard of like the 14th edition of your Ken's manual? It's the yes, it's the form in which your book is published. So addition is to add things together. Addition is like the edition of a book. What edition are we on? Ken's manual, we're on the 14th edition. Okay. Number 3, lesson. Lesson refers to the instructive or corrective example. To lessen, lessen means to decrease, teach, instruct, or remove. Lesson is what we're getting now. We're giving you a lesson in how to spell lesson. So lesson is like school, your lessons in school. To lessen means to decrease.
And these are the trick questions that they have on there. So you have to really pay attention. And I gave some of these, matter of fact, several of these in the blackout session. So this is really, really important to pay attention to the spellings. And they give you the first example, which Marsha just stated. Lesson refers to instructive, and then lesson. So pay close attention to the spellings and meanings of the words.
Go ahead and make yourself some flashcards. You know, get you some, you know, you can get pieces of paper and cut it up and make you flashcards. And just, I love this because I was a really good speller in school. So it's my favorite subject. And so this just makes sense to me. But for some of you that may struggle, please make flashcards because it is important. Okay, so sensus refers to the awareness or rationality or the faculty of sensation. Sensus refers to editing of sexual material, sensual awareness, an official count of people within the county, or none of the above.
C, an official count.
Yes. So senses, your 4 senses, eyes, ears, you know, smelling, taste. But a census is, y'all remember when Jesus was going, when Mary and Joseph was going to Bethlehem for the census? I'm sorry, that was the first thing that popped into my mind. They were going for the census. And if you remember nothing else, you can remember, hey, Miss Marcia said, Mary and Joseph went for the census. So, all right. So yes, it's C, an official count. Complement means one of 2 parts that mutually complete each other. Compliment means to add to praise or congratulate, to object to or discourage, an ingredient added to candy. Okay, well, let's stop and think about it. This complement means to one of 2 parts that mutually complete each other. So we know about another complement. So which is another definition of complement? B, to praise or to praise or congratulate. Got all mixed up. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I know these aren't exciting, but they're important. Number 6, censor means an official examiner of manuscripts. Censure means an official count of people within a country. We've already seen that one, right? Sensual awareness, to express disapproval of or to edit.
Is it C?
It's C, to express disapproval of. I didn't know that one. I'm just going to be honest. I know
Me
because I have the
either.
answer key. I didn't know that one. I really didn't. All right. Okay. So number 7, assent means agreement, consent, or sanction. Assent means rising, ambitious, dropping, or approval.
A, rising.
It means a rising. Very good. Okay, now you guys should get this one. Number 8, sweet means having a taste like sugar. SUITE, sweet means a series of items intended to be used together, a Swiss term for a gentleman's garment, a delicacy, or none of the above.
None of the above.
None of the above.
It's a series of items intended to be used together. It's kind of an, yeah, it's an old meaning. It's an old saying.
Like
But-
when you think of your furniture, back in the day, they used to call it a suite.
Yes.
Right.
The
Yeah,
old
it-
furniture.
Yeah,
Right.
I see, Trish, I see the look on your face. I'm sorry.
No, suite as in a suite office.
Yeah.
Office.
Mhm.
Like an office suite. Yeah. Or I thought of a hotel room.
That's
It's
what I
two
was thinking
rooms,
of.
Yeah, 2 rooms that are intended to be used together. I know it's old school thinking, but it's important. All right, so number 9, allude. Allude means to make a casual reference to something. ELUDE, allude means to avoid, false, right, wrongdoing. Don't elude the question.
A, avoid.
Avoid. A, avoid. It's okay, guys. Some of these words are words we don't really use very often, right?
At all.
Okay. Number 10, appraise. Appraise means to make an official evaluation of. Apprise means debase, inform, ignore, rectify. Ooh, I'm right. I'm going to apprise you of the situation at hand.
Inform.
I'm going to inform you.
Wow.
Y'all, I know vocabulary back in the day. I'm telling you, Miss Crystal, when we went to school, vocabulary was a thing, and you can tell.
Right. And the thing to remember is that these vocabulary words, you will see them on the test,
Yeah, you're
on
going
your
to.
certification. So make sure that you're paying attention and you're like doing your flashcards, like Marcia said, and because this is a very similar test as to what you will be receiving.
Will
Right.
this make us smarter than a 5th grader?
I don't know these days. I mean,
Possibly. Let's just go middle of the road. Possibly. All right.
Let's just go the road, Pop.
Okay, so number 11 says,
All right.
okay, I'm getting
Okay,
feedback,
so number
everybody.
11 says, okay, I'm getting feedback, everybody.
Mute me.
Mute me.
Thank you. We got it now. Okay. Number 11. Formally means with formality or with regard to form. Formerly means some time ago, legality, completion of forms, or none of the above.
A, some time ago.
Some time ago.
Does everybody agree with A?
Yeah.
The answer is A, some time ago.
The answer is time ago.
All right, so 12, capital means a building in which a state legislature meets. Capital with an A means a city that is important in some very special way. A minute vessel that connects with the veins. A small edible fish, or none of the above. Y'all better pick none of the above. I'm just saying.
It's always
You sure it's not like The capital of Louisiana is Baton
The
Rouge.
capital of
Okay,
Louisiana.
look at the beginning of number 12. That kind of capital is spelled C-A-P-T-I-O-L.
That kind of capital is C-A-P-T-I-O-L.
Studying for the NCCT that I gotta take.
All right,
exam.
do y'all see the difference?
All right. Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry, guys. I know that I'm asking you to mute and unmute, but I'm getting lots of feedback. Okay, so CAPITOL means state legislature, which is the capital, which Baton Rouge. That's what it is, but this is capital, T-A-L. All right, so let's move to 13. Creditable means deserving credit or esteem. Credible means reliable, praiseworthy, believable, or none of the above. Miss Crystal is a very credible person.
Reliable.
Reliable. We want to say that each of our students are credible students. Okay. Cite, C-I-T-E, means to mention or to bring forward. Cite, S-I-T-E, means view, a vision, a location, or a statement. A location?
Yeah.
What y'all think? If you go to a construction site, S-I-T-E, you're going to a location. So the answer is C, location. All right, so our next two words are stationary and stationary. Stationary, S-T-A-T-I-O-N-E-R-Y, refers to writing supplies. Stationary, which is A-R-Y, means remaining in one place, a satellite orbit, lack of motivation, or none of the above.
A, remaining in one place.
Yes, A, remaining in one place. Okay, number 16, council, C-O-U-N-C-I-L, means an assembly convened for consultation. Counsel, which is S-E-L, means a school official, a layman, advice, an officer residing in a foreign country to protect his own country's interest.
A.
A?
Wow.
So if you were a counselor, what would you do?
Advice.
You would give advice. So this counsel means advice. Counselor. I know, guys, I spell counselor wrong every time I try to spell it, but spell check is a great thing. So, but C-O-U-N-S-E-L means to give advice. Okay, 17. Personal medical records may not be released by the medical records department without first obtaining the patient's permission. The best word describing this is dependability, confidentiality, loyalty, or interpersonal.
Confidentiality.
B.
B, confidentiality. Y'all felt more comfortable with that one, right? Okay. So let's do a true or false. When greeting returning patients, you should remember your professional attitude. And when you are busy on the phone, greet them with a smile, but never keep them waiting for more than 30 minutes. True or false?
True. True.
It is true, even though we don't like to keep them waiting for 30 minutes, right? But, you know, for this intents and purposes, we're saying true. All right, so number 19. Maintenance of the reception area is the responsibility of the cleaning staff. It in no way affects the physician's care of the patient, and therefore it has no effect on the patient.
False.
That is false. How many times have you gone into the pediatrician's office and it looks like a cyclone went through it? I have. It does affect the patient. So number 20. You may be confronted with a patient who has walked in with an emergency. It is important that you remain calm, immediately alert the physician, Take the patient to a separate room and notify the other patients who have been waiting about the details of the emergency.
False.
False.
False, y'all are right. We do not alert everybody about the details of the emergency, right? Good catch on that, guys. Okay, number 21. Life-threatening emergencies such as poisonings, heart attacks, or auto accidents should be handled by calling the police and ambulance. The physician will not have to be notified immediately.
False.
True.
False.
It's false.
False.
If you're in a position where you're at a well, it doesn't really give us a background, but if you were at the office and somebody came in with a really big emergency like a heart attack or poisoning, of course you have to, tell the doctor. So number 22, many medical clinics have many medical clinics have several physicians' names listed at this facility. And therefore, it is necessary for each name to be used when you answer the phone. Thank you for calling Dr. Davis, Chaudry, Willis Jones's office. No, thank you for calling the cardiology clinic. You don't have to list everybody's names, right? So therefore, it is not necessary. So this is false. 22, it is not necessary to list all the doctors' names. All right, number 23, communication through correspondence should be done on quality stationery. The standard size being, this is one of those questions that I told y'all. We're never, where do we ever go over this? We did it, but you're going to learn it through here. So is it 9.5 by 12, 8 by 11, 10 by 12, or 8.5 by 11?
8.5 by 11.
B.
It's D. 8.5. It's D. 8.5 by 11. And see, it's just that half. Just that half makes the difference, right? That little. So just remember, it's D. 8.5 by 11. I know. I'm sorry. It makes me laugh. I don't know why you would ever need to know that, but there you go. It's on here. Many physicians' offices will, many physician offices will have companies soliciting their offices, and these should be carefully screened. However, pharmaceutical firm representatives have to see the physician to notify him or her of new drugs on the market and to leave samples. These representatives should see the physician immediately.
False.
You guys should know, you just got through doing sim charting, and some of the things that you had to schedule was for them to see representatives. So it has to be. So it's false. All right. So number 25, letterhead should be in good taste with clarity in the lettering, and the information shown should contain A, pictures of the office, B, special procedural information, C, the specific name, or D, the home phone number.
C, the specific name.
C, the specific name. All right, so for next week's class, what do you need to do to get ready for it?
26 through 75.
26 through 75. So, and we'll do exactly what we did today. We will go through each one and kind of talk about them and make notes. You're going to have, again, you're going to have a copy of this on your e-learning. If your instructor doesn't have it up there, we're going to get it up there today. So I will make sure Miss Brandy, because I think Miss Brandy has students here, puts that up for you guys. And yeah, so what do you think? Give me feedback. Is there a way that we can do this better?
Can we play it like Jeopardy?
Yes.
Just listen.
Yeah, yes. But Miss Marcia has to make the Jeopardy, which means I have to find the time. But let me tell you, Courtney, you guys will have this. If you want to make a Jeopardy game out of the next 50 questions, I will share my screen. I will allow you to do the game next week with everybody. If you guys want to do that, just let me know. I just personally do not have the time to stop and put it into a Jeopardy game.
No, at the end of the towards the end of the questions, it started sounding like Jeopardy.
Oh,
It's not, no, it's fun.
true for 500.
Mhm.
So this is our first time. So as we go on, we're going to get better. And I'm hoping to at some point pull out a Kahoot. Have you guys ever played Kahoot?
Mm-mm.
Okay. So it's an app that's on your phone. So everybody would do the Kahoot app. And it's almost like Jeopardy. It gives you the question, it gives you and then it gives you the answers, and then you push the square that you think on your phone, and it comes up on the computer and everybody can see. Like, for example, Rebecca may have gotten the answer right, and then maybe Trish got it wrong. Well, Rebecca's going to be the winner. It says who got it the quickest and all of that. But look at Kahoot. It's fun. You have to put the app on your phone, but it is a fun way to review. So if that's direction that we need to go, we'll make some time to make a Kahoot.
How do you spell that? How do you spell that?
Kahoot. Kahoot.
Kahoot.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And so, and it's fun. It's just one of those things that are fun, but it's one of those games that will help you remember. And it may be a lot more fun than this, because I mean, I know this isn't fun, you know.
Or when we come back next week, maybe have an index card or a piece of paper with either if it's A, B, C, D, true or false, and I'll hold it up, maybe something.
That's a good idea, except that I can't see all of y'all.
Oh,
When
that's
I
just-
share my screen, there's just one little strip. But there are things that we can do that would be better, like the Kahoot, or if I can put them even in a Quizlet or whatever it is. So you guys just put your thinking caps on, and this isn't going to end anytime soon because we have like 4 chapters or 5 chapters to get through. So yeah, we have 5 chapters to get through. But I want to make it fun. I don't want it to be boring. I want this to be a good time for us. This is going to be a time that's more relaxed too. So if you want to discuss something or something like that, I just want it to be relaxing. I don't want us to be all stuffed shirt. We have enough of that all week. It's supposed to be funny and relaxed and all of that. I want you to enjoy it and I want you to come back. So
Right. And Marcia, also don't forget, we want to mention that this is only for the students who would like to actually study and want to prepare. If you feel that you don't want to do this, if you don't want the extra assistance, then you do not have to join every
no.
Tuesday.
Right. This is all up to you guys. This is extra. Miss Crystal and I this is not something we have to do. This is something we want to do with you guys. But if it's not something that's right for you, there is we're not going to hold it against you. I'm not going to be like, well, Madeline, why didn't you come? Or, you know what I mean? It's just strictly up to you. We're here. We want to do it with you guys. We want to have fun. I love being in front of students. So, it's kind of my fun time. So I told Miss Crystal, I feel like I'm at the airport with my headset on. It makes my ears hurt, but my husband's home and he keeps going in and out of the door. So I needed it to be quiet. So any questions before we go?
Is this a time test when we go to take the actual exam? Do you know how much time is allotted?
3 hours, I believe.
Okay.
And
And
we can only bring our CPT and our ICD-10 books.
and your Hicks
And-
picks.
And my Hicks and our Hicks picks.
Yes.
And the tabs cannot be paper, they have to be the plastic.
Yes. And if
Okay.
if you actually put notes into your manuals, you need to make sure that if it's a sticky note that you tape it down, because you have to shake your manual. And if anything falls out, you cannot keep it.
Okay. It's our books. We can write the notes in our books if we have room, right?
They
Yes.
are your books. They are your books.
Ready?
Now, this specific test, you're not going to need your CPT for, but I'm assuming you can have it. This is the front office exam. This is not the medical billing and coding exam. Now,
Okay.
after we get done with the MOA, I'm not saying that we won't begin to go through that, but we have to just kind of work ourselves up to that.
Okay.
I can't wait to do ICD-10. Me and Miss Crystal do a big ICD-10 class and we code and we have the best time. It's my
Because
favorite.
I remember a lot of the students were like, oh my goodness, we didn't get too much into it because we never covered it. So everybody will be joining in together, actually doing ICD-10.
It was fun last time, not knowing very much about it, but it was very fun.
Yeah, we're going to be doing when we start ICD-10 coding, we're going to have a lot of fun. We used to do coding pileups is what we call them in my class. We would put all of our tables in the middle. Guys, there would be manuals and there would be medical terminology books and medical dictionaries everywhere. And we just had a really good time coding. So I'm looking forward to having a big class where we can do that all together too. So anyway, all right. Well, it took 30 minutes of your afternoon. I'm not going to take any more. Thank you so much for joining us. 2 o'clock next week. We're going to do the next 50 together and see where it goes. If you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me or Miss Crystal.
And remember, if you have any other ideas on how we can make, this fun, suggestions, please email Marcia or myself.
If you want to make a Jeopardy game or whatever, feel free. I'll let you share your screen next week and we'll play a Jeopardy game, whatever you want to do, but it's up to you. There is no pressure to do anything extra. It's all up to you guys. So, all right.
Thanks, ladies.
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.